Hello, New York.
Is there anybody out there?
Start spreading the news.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm leaving today.
Bum, bum,
I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes. All right, how are we doing? Are we?
Yeah, we're all ready to go.
Are we hitting? Is the record button hit on the?
Yeah, you can double check it, but I'm pretty sure we're recording.
Well, that was a great intro.
Yeah, I think
We wrote the new song for you.
Yeah,
guys.
I think we're keeping that.
Wrote the new song. Yeah, well, never before heard single by Brant Cohen and Jimmy McGrath. I don't even remember what that song is called now. New York.
Yeah.
If you made it here.
You can make it anywhere. If you make it in Hillsdale, you can make it anywhere.
True.
It's true.
Yeah.
Man, look at the sheer amount of raw financial success on this couch right now.
I know.
Yeah,
We're on the couch and you're on the chair.
I know.
Financial success. What is he talking about?
I mean, you can make it in Hillsdale. You can make it anywhere. Is what I mean.
Yeah. Famed financial success, Jimmy McGrath.
A man of power and influence into the Wall Street. Goodness gracious.
A man of power and influence on the Knights of Columbus.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which is, at the end of the day, as far as your eternal soul is concerned, far superior than Wall Street.
I would say I'm probably only about 4 lines of communication removed from Pope Francis. So probably still
So that
not
makes
as close
me-
as
so that makes
you,
me
but
5 lines?
I suppose so. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
a knight too.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not a knight. I just know Jimmy.
We're 5 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Us
exactly.
and
Yeah.
Pope.
Yeah.
Is that the different degrees of knights? You got the-
No. Just
no.
the hierarchy of Knights Columbus.
knighthood.
Yeah, because we've got some stuff going on in Rome too. So,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
What
wow.
kind of
Wow.
stuff?
well, charitable activities. We built a
okay,
facility for kids with disabilities to play soccer in Rome.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're
Like,
not, I mean, it's
as in your chapter, or
no,
just
the Knights of
organization?
Columbus in general,
Okay.
Supreme Knights of Columbus.
Yes.
But everybody contributes to it. Of course, we all
Yeah.
pay our tribute.
The penny
to-
donations.
Yeah,
Which gave us the big tower at the Basilica in Washington, D.C.
that's right. Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. If you need some money to get something done, ask the Knights of Columbus.
need a
and if it's
tower.
Catholic, they'll give it to you.
Can we build it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
I
Yes,
now
we
realize
can.
that there is a overt segregation happening right now in this podcast, and the fact that the Catholics are on the couch and I am sitting on a
as
chair
it should
over
be.
here.
You say overt.
Overt, like
Yeah.
explicit, like I'm being explicitly segregated.
Yeah.
Do you just agree?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of the knights, I was just thinking, Jimmy, it's fair week here, and I remember you
I
dragged
saw
me
that.
out there a couple years ago to flip burgers in the little trailer
That's
for the
right.
knights.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. That was a grand old time.
Yeah. Well, you
The way that Brad just said he got dragged there, I don't think he had.
Yeah,
a grand old time.
It was grand for me.
You've worked a ton of fairs, haven't you?
Fairs in general, yes.
Yeah.
I've worked the Hillsdale County Fair, the Ohio State Fair,
Wow.
2 full
big
fairs,
league.
and then a weekend afterwards with Aaron Tracy.
Yeah. Well, you had was it a dog stand?
Corn
or
dogs.
Yeah,
corn dogs. Corn dogs. We made thousands of corn dogs in 2 weeks. I would say the highlight of those 2 full fairs, one of the highlights, there are many, but one thing that I'll never forget was, I would say probably 3 or 4 days in, somebody was on a ride, and the ride, something happened where the person got thrown off the ride, died, and they shut down the fair for the rest of the day, the next day. And John Kasich, back when he was still governor of Ohio,
yeah.
was walking through, and he walked right in front of our corn dog stand, and I leaned all the way out of our corn dog stand from behind the stand. I just go, "Hey, Governor Kasich, how about come on over and have a corn dog?" And he just turns over, everybody, all the cameras around him look, and everybody's looking at me, and I'm just
Is he gonna do
frozen, and he just yells, "I'll be back." And of course, he never came back. And that's why I never voted for that
Were you
son of a gun.
Were you going to make him pay for it, or was it going to be a free corn
It would have
dog?
been on the house. I mean, we had
Oh, you should've said that.
misdips. We would have, yeah. That's
You give him a misdip. You give the governor a misdip.
well. I mean, you don't know the difference. It all tastes the same.
Dude,
He's just walking back to the reporters with an ugly ass corn dog.
That's
got it
what
from
sinks
right
his
there.
campaign.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what did him in.
dude, I was just thinking about the way you told that story. like immediately it was, dude, the best thing that ever happened to me when I was at the fair. So this one time a man died on a Ferris wheel.
As I was saying that, I realized it's not the best way to preface it. Peace be upon him.
Yeah, I just wanted that story to end right there, and it was like, that was awesome.
No, that was very sad. It was not a good day.
Yes.
The exciting life of a corn dog vendor, really.
It was exciting. Yeah, 13-hour days, and we made a ton of money in tips. Too.
Yes, it must have been nice working with somebody you knew because
we had a blast.
We worked in we worked a fair a couple of weeks in Washington State, the Evergreen State Fair, and we did like one of those open job callings where they're like,
sounds like a really bad idea.
Yeah, well,
an open job calling for a state fair.
Well, you know how there's those places where you go like employment
like
bureau,
a staffing agency,
staffing agencies, but they're for like people who have parole officers, right?
Special staffing agencies.
Yeah. So we went to one of those because our mom was one of those like, it's important that you guys work this summer sort of people. So we
like a good mom.
And so we went and
figure this thing out.
I know we really got to get different microphones.
It's an esoteric machine.
Breathing heavily in it.
Yeah. So we went and we did that, and we show up. First off, they shorted Dylan like $150.
Yeah.
But you got fully paid?
Yeah, but that was because I didn't go to the extra. Like there was this thing where if you stuck around for the teardown, and they would pay you like OT. And he did that, and then they just didn't pay him.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they like literally counted. They pay you in cash, and they counted it out in front of you, so they could sleight of hand it. Sleight of hand your pay.
Yeah. And so he saw that I was a mark, I guess, because I counted it.
Yeah.
And when he counted it out, it was the total, and I was like, cool. And I went home.
Yeah.
And then I counted it again. I was like, it wasn't. It was like $60. I mean, at the end of the day, not a huge deal. But when I'm that young, that's
a big deal.
That's a lot of McChickens.
You got to get a story out of it, though. I mean, that's the $60 story right there. That's the price you have to pay.
But so we went and we got put in one of those. How every fair's got like the carnies will drive around.
That's not the right word.
Carney?
Yeah. You can't use that.
You can't say carny.
You can,
carny.
You can say carny.
Hey, as carnies, we're allowed to say it.
Sloan McDonough? Anyway.
Yeah, he sounds familiar.
Yeah. His family's in the rolling carnival industry, and he told me that is a wrong term to use.
My people find that term offensive.
Yeah. Well, their people is not an ethnic group, nor is it a cultural group, so I'm going to call them carnies. But anyway, so there was like these places.
What a hard stance.
And they would hire.
Shad.
Yeah.
They would hire people from the job agencies. And so we go there, and they give us a job, and it's in one of those things where it's like, you can buy. It's one of the generic food places where it's like, we got sandwiches and corn dogs. You know what I mean? Just that everyone has. Right?
Yeah.
You're holding that like it's in your nose.
I don't know where to put it.
You can put it lower. You can put it lower. Yeah, and then just tip it up towards you.
Okay.
Other direction.
Oh, like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just kind of like kiss it.
Yeah, and then and bring it down a little bit.
You guys need to put like a piece of tape, like how people will hang tennis balls in their garage, like where to back their car up to. You need a piece of tape for where to put your nose at. On
Jimmy, that's a far too reasonable good idea.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, but you're there, and then you have to talk to these people you're working with, and everybody was an ex-con or something. Like our boss was this guy who taught Dylan how to bounty hunt.
People.
Yes,
he was a bounty hunter.
Dog?
That it was no.
He was an old Creole man.
An old Creole man.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Who was kind of hard to understand.
He called Dylan Fry Guy
because I did fries,
and I was Grill Man because I grill.
Fry guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would do corn dogs, and I would do the curly fries. And yeah, I mean, the beautiful thing is that he was like propositioned. Well, I mean, proposition's not the right way to phrase it. He was approached by someone who heard that he had been a bounty hunter, other carnies, and they approached him and said, "Hey, we hear you have experience. We just heard over the radio that there's a guy on the run in this very town right now. Do you want to take a break and we could all go get him?" Right? So
Is this for real?
Yeah, this is 100% real. And then he was like, "No, I'm busy. I don't do that no more." But the big thing that he said is he gave me very good advice. He said, you don't need to carry a weapon. All you need is steel-toed boots, right? Steel-toed boot, kick a door down with one of those. Surprise him, take them in. It's just that easy. And I was like, I don't think it's that easy, brother.
Didn't he say like then kick them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like,
well,
if they start messing around, you kick them. He's like, one to the chest, they're done. They're gone.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I could pretty much do it now.
Yeah.
I think I've got all the training.
Yeah,
in my
he was
place.
that. There was this guy who we are pretty sure was lying about being an ex-professional wrestler
Yes.
who tried to sell us energy drinks through an MLM.
You didn't buy in?
No, I did not.
Oh.
I was working with my guy who was my fellow grill dude. We were working, and then a dude was in line, got a sandwich, and they like nodded at each other, and he left. And I was like, "Who was that?" He was like, that was the warden." So wild stuff. Pretty intense.
I had a much milder time. I worked at the county fair because my dad used to MC the Queen pageants.
What county were you in, Brant?
McHenry.
McHenry. Okay.
Yeah. So we would every year he'd be out there in a tuxedo and he would, run the whole Queen pageant fair. And it was kind of fun. I got to help unload their cars, bring all their clothes into their trailers, unload all the clothes out of the trailers afterward, and, just help run the backstage. It was a great
This
picture.
does not sound like you've worked at a fair. It sounds like you were in show business.
Yeah.
It was
no business like show business.
Yeah.
I was key grip at the fair.
No. It was a grandstand built in the motocross field. So they just kind of
That's fair.
they leveled the ground and then they put the stand up, and so we were on these little mud tracks, and yeah, it was kind of nice.
Brant Cohen, best boy. Right?
Yeah.
There's a great picture of me. It was raining really badly one year, and so I was in the cover of the local newspaper holding 2 umbrellas, standing in the rain over the contestants as they were running from the pavilion back into their trailer.
Wow.
It's a great.
Is that
picture.
framed?
Not,
It is.
Not all
My dad
heroes.
laminated it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's honestly like the most like my lady energy.
I know, dude. Freaking white knight.
These beautiful queens.
Well, not all of them are queens. Only one
Only
gets to
one.
be queen.
That's
Yeah,
true.
But there are a lot of former queens, out in the audience.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
You were saying something?
Oh, I was going to say where I grew up in Monroe County, Michigan, we had the Monroe County Fair, which was probably quadruple the size of the Hillsdale County Fair. And every time we come here,
No.
But is it as popular?
much more popular. And every time
On
we
which
come
planet?
our planet. Every time we come here, people would always be like, "Oh, this is the best county fair ever," and I just grumble under my breath, "No, it's not. Monroe's better than this."
Wait, people actually say it's the best ever?
Yes, I remember.
They must not live like in a semi-rural
Have
area.
they ever
then.
been to another county fair?
There's besides Monroe. There's no reason to go anywhere besides Monroe.
Oh,
the Monroe
'cause-
County
well, it's the
Fair is
best.
gigantic.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm being hyperbolic, but it's bigger than the Michigan State Fair was back when it was at the Michigan
Yeah,
State
but
Fairgrounds in
Allegan
Detroit.
County has essentially the state fair here in Michigan. It's the largest county fair in the state.
How do you know that?
Because I was working over there for a while.
Well, I think Monroe makes the same claim. I don't think it really.
No,
matters, but-
Allegan's
But
is
does
actually the
Allegan
biggest.
make the
Have you
very
ever seen
true claim
Monroe's?
that they're
You ever
the
look
most
at the stats
popular?
on Allegan?
Allegan is what's the county seat of Allegan?
Allegan.
It is. There's no freaking way.
Yes,
Allegan's
it
bigger than
is. We'll
Monroe.
look it up. We'll
Yeah,
look
we'll
it
look
up.
it
Girls,
Let's
girls,
go.
girls.
Only one of us
telling
can
you.
crown county fair queen.
Yeah.
I want that crown.
How about this? Who on this podcast do you think would be the most likely to be a county fair queen?
I think Brant. Would
Brant
give.
does like the finer
the
things.
pageant.
Yeah, the showmanship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
a showman. at
He would have a perfect answer to the question
Every time.
Yes.
Every time.
Yeah.
What's the most important thing? What do you think the world needs more than anything else?
Needs truth. We need to know what's good and true and beautiful. I'm beautiful.
You didn't say world peace.
Wow. All right, Jimmy.
I'm only making that joke because I saw Miss Congeniality last week.
I like that movie.
No, they ask questions like, "What do you want to do with your career?" and "How have you volunteered in the community?" Things
Yeah.
like that.
And what would you say?
I don't know.
How have you volunteered in the community, Brant?
I was holding umbrellas.
He flipped burgers at
I
the
flipped.
Hillsdale County
I
Fair.
flipped burgers at the
Columbus.
nights, the rundown nights trailer
But
at the
then
county fair. and
Imagine the mic
I've held
gets passed over.
umbrellas.
Mike gets passed over to Jimmy. I'm the head of the Knights of Columbus. Everybody's like, "Yeah, look at that!" Drops
Yeah.
the mic.
Yeah.
If you really want it, though, I used
If
to
anybody wants
volunteer.
a fish fry afterwards, just,
That's right. See this guy.
yeah, come by the trailer. You got an industrial fryer in your trailer.
Yeah, well, my parish has some pretty intense fryers.
That's something that Hillsdale, St. Anthony's, I think has like one or two fryers, but
But their fish fry is more in the spirit of Lent itself.
yes.
Self-sacrifice and not self-sacrifice.
You're just saying that it's bad.
Sacrifice. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, one of us dies, dude, for the fish fry. That's how much we love it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, I will say,
sacrifice.
when you are a member of the Knights of Columbus, speaking down on another Knights of Columbus fish fry is probably a great diss, right?
He's not. You're
I'm
not
not speaking down
down.
at St. Anthony's. I'm praising them. I think they do a great job by having it be a small to do. A lot of parishes will have fish fries where they serve lobster and crab and
Hush
all
puppies.
these hush puppies, all these exotic,
Gotta love the hush
rich
puppy.
foods.
I'm there for that.
And I remember Father David gave a great homily one time, and he's like, if you have the choice between eating, lobster, no meat, or a hot dog on a Friday during Lent, eat the hot dog. It's more in the spirit of Lent. And I would tend to agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it is. I don't know. Have you done the muskrat thing?
I have not. The parish
Have you heard about
closest to
this?
my house that does it
What is this?
books out
You don't know?
like the day they open selling tickets. So basically, you can go to the Wikipedia page. It's an entry in the Wikipedia page for no meat during Lent or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in Southeast Michigan, there are a few parishes. St. Charles Borromeo is the one closest to where I grew up that will have a muskrat dinner. And for those who aren't familiar with what a muskrat is, it's a small aquatic rodent.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's actually part of Rodentia or not.
I think it's closer. Are beavers? I think it's closer.
I think it's in the same
closely
family as
related to a
beavers,
beaver. Yeah.
It's
It's like a
genus
beaver with a
beavers,
long,
maybe.
straight tails, or what they look
No,
like.
not genus. Definitely not genus, but I don't know.
STEM major over here.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, so wait, I don't even know when it started, but basically the bishop of what was then just the Diocese of Detroit issued a dispensation, or they just started doing it, and he just said, well, it's so terrible, I'm not going to stop him from eating it. But basically parishes and like yacht clubs and things like that throughout Southeast Michigan will serve cooked muskrat during Lent because it's
technically allowed.
Yeah.
It's a meat that you can eat.
Yes.
There's there are other ones in the world. Like I think in some
Alligator
places,
in the bayou.
yeah, alligator. You can eat
Yeah.
alligator. You can eat gator, which is basically a fish in my mind. I mean, those things swim.
I like alligator.
So does a
actually.
muskrat, though. That also
Yeah.
swims.
So
So
I guess it's a fish.
The muskrat is like boiled and then like stewed in like a mushroom gravy with corn or something like that. It's really disgusting.
I just stick with the fried fish.
Yeah.
Give me some cod.
Or a hot dog.
A
at
piece
that
of lemon.
point.
yeah, that sounded distinctly bad. Like
Yeah.
anything that opens with you boil it is like on a meat.
Well,
It's a
it's-
tough.
yeah,
That's
tough,
a tough
I
sell.
I was-
But then
was,
you got the
Big
gravy.
drunk fest.
Yeah.
So
I was talking to a local politician, not one that we've had on the show, another one, and he was talking about how he has to do that because he's a Catholic, and he's like, yeah. You got to go to the muskrat dinner. It's one of your responsibilities.
around here,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You have to show up
Pilgrimage.
and be like, well, yeah, I see. I'm a part of the community. I'm eating rat.
it's hard to get tickets though, man. You have to know a guy to get in.
Really?
Yes, I
sold
kid you
out
not.
years in advance.
Yes, it's as
Jeez.
soon as they open the sale, all the tickets are
Well, it must. I mean, I imagine they don't industrially farm muskrats. It must be kind of tough actually to get food for it.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a decent sized trapping community in Southeast Michigan,
Yeah.
the Western Lake Erie Basin, and Lake St. Clair area as well. People still do that beyond just doing it for a hobby.
Yeah.
So
for their livelihood. Honestly, the Catholic Church has risen and maintained and preserved the muskrat industry in Michigan.
single-handedly,
It would not
That's
exist.
actually honestly true.
Yeah.
which is really unfortunate. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
that's an industry that could probably go the way of the dodo. And no one would really be that.
Just need to change the dispensation.
Just imagine though, how many muskrats would be around. We would have a muskrat problem.
Muskrats reproduce like
Rats
rats.
So,
yeah,
so
they
besides
really
the
do. They go
Knights
nuts.
Knights of Columbus, who's the natural predator?
of the muskrat.
Of the muskrat.
I imagine large birds.
Yeah, snakes. The water snake.
Okay.
We'll
No,
get 'em.
I don't know. Maybe it's not a predator though.
Well, it'll eat them. I mean, I think
Muskrats are huge. We don't have snakes
Have
bigger
you
than.
ever seen a northern water snake?
I can't say I have. How big are
snakes
they?
in Lake Erie can get like as long as this table when they're stretched out. They're big and black.
As long as this table.
Not this table. Sorry, this
What
couch.
table?
This couch. They'll get huge. They're massive. They're not
Yeah.
venomous. That they just eat basically whatever they can find.
Like a muskrat.
Yeah, I mean it's not their first choice because it's big, but
Yeah. There's actually a muskrat that lives near our house.
oh really?
I've seen him multiple times.
Have a good name for him.
Oh, big boy. No,
Big
I don't know. He
And
trundles
actually,
around.
it really disappoints me that you don't have a name for this thing. That's all I'm going to
I
say.
mean, I've only seen him like twice. You got to know a person 3 times, I think.
How do you name a child if you don't really know them beyond just having looked at
Because
them?
you know them in utero.
You've known him for 9 months.
Your wife knows him in utero, but do you know him in utero as the father?
Shad's talked to him.
I talked to Hieronymus.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's how you
Yeah.
were able to.
Yeah, he recognized my voice when he came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you yanking my chain?
No, he literally did.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, that's
no,
very
you know,
cool. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, you know,
They
if
say
you
you're supposed to do that, right? You're supposed
yeah,
to
you,
talk
so
to
you, we talk. I talked to him a lot, and then he's born. They're freaking out initially, and then they kind of calm down. They might eat, that sort of thing. But then once he was handed to me, he was fussy. Just started humming,
Wow.
talking to him, and he was like, "Well,
That's pretty cool.
sure." Yeah. Some people do this thing where they have a song that like every day they sing to the kid
Mm.
in utero, and then when they're born, you sing them the song, and they like freak out.
Mm.
They love it.
What's
So-
what's the first song Hieronymus has heard?
The first song was me inventing songs. When he was born, that night, Becca went to sleep, and he didn't want to go to sleep. So, and he was freaking out whenever I would sit down. So I literally walked back and forth in the hospital room from wall to wall for 4.5 hours straight, singing
Wow.
to him.
Wow.
And as you can imagine, it got a little creative around hour 3.5. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I started like, I'm not like one to kind of cry about stuff, but about 3.5 hours in, I was like, I just started, I was like, let's think lullabies. I was like, hush, little baby, don't say a word. Daddy's going to buy you. And I was like, Daddy? And I was like, I'm Daddy. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, it is cool. It's
Guys,
cool.
freaking welcome to the podcast of Monomaniacs, dude. We got freaking Jimmy McGrath. We got freaking Brant Cohen, right? Classic guests on the show.
Classic guest.
Brant is a little more classic than I am.
But
From the incredibly popular Titanic episode.
Is that like the worst one ever?
No.
Oh,
It's got pretty good numbers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I
I like
checked
I
out
like
like
to
a
make
month or
I like
two
to make
later.
fun of it though because
Oh, really?
it was obvious you weren't prepared.
I had no idea what I was talking about.
I found it interesting though. I enjoyed it.
No,
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about the Titanic for maybe a sum total of like 5-6 minutes.
Yeah.
Then you talked about Detroit,
We
right?
did? I don't
Yeah.
really.
I think did we? We talked about
Yeah,
the city.
I imagine
I just
we did.
assume
General
Yeah.
complaints about
Michigan.
Michigan in general.
So just because one of the people on this couch is a recurring character on the show, right? That being
Brant.
Brant. What's up, Brant? What's going on? What's the deal?
Well, I got to say, I mean, from my last little cameo appearance, we were talking about my car. So I wanted to kind of finish up that story.
Oh,
Okay.
You caught me after
For the Brant lore.
Yeah, just to finish it up. You
Yeah,
caught
yeah.
me leaving a dealership with a pretty sleazy car dealer and his nephew,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicky or whatever.
Yeah, and which you were rather explicit about what ethnicity these individuals were over the phone.
It's okay. I can say that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I left and I didn't go back and get that car. I thought I would, but they called me 2 days in a row, and the first time, like, maybe I could go back, and I let the first one go. I'm like, they'll call me back again because clearly they're desperate. But then I was like, that's just a bad car. I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
So the fight
Dude,
continued
so
on.
much growth
I know.
coming from Brant over here.
No, okay,
the
so
confidence on display is
It's
incredible.
I learned so much about buying a car. I
Yeah.
went in, I was starting to research, I was reading about the process, I was watching videos on it. There's actually, I won't plug it, but there was a YouTube channel that I found was incredibly helpful.
You can plug it if you want to.
It's called Car Edge. I don't know how that got turned around.
Yeah.
Car Edge. Those guys actually were pretty helpful. They have a good website. They gave you a
Yeah.
lot more information.
So how is this? How is this information anything different than exchange, legal tender for goods and or services?
Oh my gosh, there's a whole process of what not to say the minute you walk in there, and
Yeah, because you're buying. So okay, why didn't you do for sale by owner? Why did you feel like you had to learn all this stuff so you could talk to a used car salesman?
I like this. I like the knowledge and the comfort that comes with a dealership with a certified pre-owned car. That they, they are.
Is it certified pre-owned? Is it we've certified that someone has driven it before?
I could do that.
You're like, I don't know if this is pre-owned.
Yeah. Could you give me?
It's pretty new to me.
I need a notarized
Get
document
on that thing.
Give me a notarized paper on that. No, they do their full inspection, everything. Whether you trust their mechanics or not, that's a different story. But, I like the comfort because if there is something wrong, terribly wrong with the car, there is a dealership that I know that sold it to me that has a reputation to stand behind rather than, buying a car from Jimmy.
Yeah.
The hell is that supposed to be?
Honestly, I would trust buying literally anything from Jimmy more than I would trust buying it from a Walmart.
You can say that though because
I didn't buy it from a Walmart.
I know. I'm just saying.
When do you buy cars from Walmart?
No, I'm just saying. Like anything I buy from Jimmy, I am 100% trusting that I'm getting a good deal.
No.
and it's
You shouldn't.
reasonable.
What you should trust is that the way he describes it is what you're getting. It's not going to necessarily be high quality, but if you were to show up,
No,
and he had
I'll
a-
tell you that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna
I
be like,
trust the transaction, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's ever accused me of sugarcoating it.
Yeah.
That's
That's
what you see
true.
is what you get.
That's
Usually
true.
it's
Oh, man.
nothing exciting. But
Well, anyway, it was a hell of a process. It was great to really learn what they're going to ask you simple questions, and I started to see it on repeat. So I was starting to get really warmed up at the more dealerships I went to, and eventually I found I almost caved. I was just so wearing out on this process that I almost paid a guy to find a car for me.
Nice.
But he never got back to me. So
is that a service that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, like
Is-
job recruiters kind of deal? Like,
Yeah, like
huh.
he you don't pay anything up front. You tell him what you're looking for. He has the in with all the dealerships in the Chicagoland area. He knows how to find the car you're looking for. He was a mechanic by trade. It was a $400 fee if he found the car that you were looking for at the price you wanted. And
That's not that much money.
Yeah,
No.
I would have expected larger, like maybe percentage, but
no. And so I was really hoping that he was going to come through for me. But
You keep rotating it.
that little piece of tape would be helpful.
yeah. You poo pooed it.
Yeah.
I need it.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, so he didn't come through. I just continued to search, but I was really starting to wear down. My rental car that the insurance company was paying for ran out, so now the clock really started. I only had about a week to, it started racking up money quickly. So I found 2 cars I wanted. One of them, I went in. They sold it before I got there, so that was terrible. But I had somebody at work who knew a guy who ran a dealership, and I already told him what I was looking for, how to negotiate on this other car, and he's like, you could do this and this, but I got a car here if you want to take a look at it. So I caved and went in, I looked at it. It was good enough. So my goal was to improve where I was, and
So-
I got the same car.
You got the exact same car?
It's the same year, the top trim package.
Very nice.
It's got 40,000 less miles, and it's a V6 engine. So
Okay.
I got a sunroof, leather seats, seat heater. So I did improve.
The end of the story is, after all that, is that you acquired a slightly above average vehicle.
Without any bargaining.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you did all that research and spent all that
I
time.
know, but I wrote it all down. I am ready to go next time. I know the process.
You're just slow. You just keep rotating it away from your mouth actively.
I keep feeling the button, and the button keeps changing. I keep thinking it's on my finger. But anyway, no, there's a lot really to learn. Like, they want to know, they're going to ask a question. You're going to finance it. What do you plan to pay cash? You just keep hammering on the out the door price. You don't talk about financing. You say, I haven't decided yet. You try not to answer any of the questions. You keep negotiating them down on the out the door. But like the site that I went to, they had additional information, like how long the car sat on the lot, how long have they had it, how much stock have they had.
Wow.
You look at the title report, you look to see how long has it been in the hands of dealers, how many times has it transferred over. All of that stuff. Like, it was really, I started going in armed with a lot of information, and you even, like, at the end of the serial number that the stock number that the dealership has, if it has an A, that means that this car was a trade-in. So then you go look at the value of the car in Blue Book, and then you know that is exactly how much they traded it in for, and so they'll mark it up, $5,000-$6,000. So then you know that you can. That's the bottom that they're willing to go, and they're trying to make $6,000 profit. So you can hammer that away and start low and not feel like you're actually lowballing them. So there really was a lot to learn, and I'm glad it was over. I was under pressure. If I didn't have that pressure of paying for the rental car, I was kind of enjoying the process.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun.
What do you
going there.
what aspect of it was it? The mercantilism, right? Was it the bartering and negotiation, right? What was the motivation?
No, that was it. I wanted
Hold it for him.
I'm starting to think I should. I mean,
give me a mic stand. Oh, that was so much better. My hands are all sweaty.
See, you guys made fun of me for not knowing what to do with it. These
I
are
know.
hard.
The way that I do it is I've got my thumb on it right here, so I hold it by the button on my thumb.
I
and
was
then
holding it by the
and
button.
then I have it just facing directly towards me. And
I'm
I'm
just gonna do two
Not bad.
hands.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, at the end of the day, it was I wanted to know how good of a deal could I have actually bargained them down. The dealership that sold the car before I got there, he asked me later what was your price range, and I said it was this range. He's like, oh well, this car was $19,000, and it was it was higher than my out the door price. I said, yeah, but I was gonna negotiate that down. I said that very confidently, like, yeah, that wasn't going to be the end price. But I didn't even get to try. I didn't even get to do that. So,
So you're actually a very dangerous individual in the fact that you have all this knowledge and false confidence.
that's the last little
Without
bit.
any actual execution. So
you've never had to do it. So
No.
walking around, chest puffed out.
yeah.
I'm going to negotiate the hell out of that guy.
I really wanted to do it. I wanted the game. I wanted to try, but I at least like going to multiple dealerships and like doing the research. You start to see, oh yeah, there's the same questions over and over. There's the same method, the prying, what not to answer and how to fight them. I'm grateful that I got the price I needed and the car that I wanted, really.
Yeah.
So that's good. But
See, the thing is that you were relying what that was communicated in that lesson. What you actually learned was, first off, you were confident in yourself that you would be able to get the car you wanted because of your skills and your knowledge. And then God said, no,
looking out for me.
I'll give you the car because it's me at the end of the day who has the power.
Wow, you should be crowned Miss McHenry County.
Yeah. Miss McHenry County. Yeah, no, I mean,
I mean, ultimately, God saved me from myself on that one.
Yeah. Let me open this up a little bit because we've talked about on this podcast how much Shad and I greatly despise the process of buying a car at a dealership. Right. Great dislike.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, so I was actually going to throw it over to you, Jimmy. What's your thoughts and opinions on this?
I have never had a negative interaction buying a car at a dealership. My first car was a Ford Ranger I bought off my grandpa. My second car was a 2006 Ford Fusion that I bought from Varsity Lincoln in Plymouth, Michigan. Saved up three years working a summer job and bought it right before college. And it was
It was a great car. Yeah.
It was a great car. Yeah. Got a lot of use out of that. And then when that car broke down, I walked into Taylor Ford in Taylor, Michigan, walked up to the first salesman I found, just walked up to his desk and said, "Hello, sir, I'd like to buy that car." And pointed at the car on the lot that I wanted. And he looked up and he goes, "Okay, let's get some paperwork signed." Oh my God. So I signed it. Oh my! It was to a T the exact car I wanted.
And the price?
And the price was good. Well, my dad works for
What a
Ford,
sucker.
so I get the Ford discount, which is a few grand off.
Okay.
And then they also had like recent college grad discount and all these discounts and whatnot, and 0% financing as well. So their sales tricks really worked on me, but I didn't really need them because I just walked in. And told
Oh
them
man,
what I wanted.
well I'll just tell you one about the sales tricks. So dealerships put a lot of stuff on the cars at the end of the day. The extra dealership add-ons, and so that's another good thing to know about. And so I ran down the list, and the dealer that I gave me the deal on the car anyway. They it comes out in the finance office. That's where they really try to get you at the end. And they only had one thing, but I was warned about it. It's called VIN etching, and they etch the VIN on all the parts of the car. Yeah. It's completely useless, but they charged $400 for it. And the guys I was watching had kept saying, "You are not required to pay it. It's not your fault they put it on there. You can fight them on it." He said, "You may not win on that one, but you certainly should be able to bargain them down." And he said, they said, "Look, ask for the service contract. Every one of these comes with one, and it'll say you do not need to pay for this to purchase the car." And it was in bold letters. I called him out on it. The guy kept saying, "I do this in every car. Everybody, our insurance requires it." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't want it." He's like, he stopped looking at me. He just kept looking at the screen. Eventually, I was like, you know what? The guy was a family friend who gave me the deal.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna go home. I was there for 4 hours. I was done. When I pulled out with my car driving around the building, I saw the same guy. He was outside blowing his cigarette. I really had him on the rope.
Yeah.
I think
Did your worst.
Okay. What you're telling me is that in a situation in which you were so confident that you were the ultimate negotiator, that you walked in, didn't have to negotiate at all. You were presented with one negotiation.
What opportunity?
A financing guy, not even a sales dude. You sit down and you can't whittle him down $400. It sounds like you're not the master negotiator that you claim you are.
It kept me up all night. All night.
Oh,
But no. Honestly, though, I
am the best.
I would have walked
anybody.
out. I would have walked out on it because they don't want you to leave from the finance office and blow up a deal, especially if they spent 4 hours there.
Yeah.
The problem was it was a family friend who had given me the discount, but I didn't know him that well, and so it was kind of like it was almost like a friend of a friend who gave me the $4,000, $5,000 discount on the car to begin with. So I
much better.
headphones are helpful.
Yeah, that's why we wear them.
Well, anyway, so I was like, I have to go to work and see this guy, see his family, his father or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just, I didn't want to say, I'm out $400. You gave me $5,000 discount without negotiating. I'm leaving. So it troubled me, but seeing that I had the guy on the fence at the end, I take that as a slight
Guy on the fence. He was smoking a cigarette. He was probably on the fence only in that he was like, man, I really wish I could smoke a cigarette right now.
No.
Or it was a victory cigarette as he walked
Yeah,
out.
he was like,
I got him.
Yeah, another sucker.
This was a cigarette after sex moment because he screwed you.
Jokes on him. I got the car.
No,
But-
when we talked about dealerships, that one episode where we did, my father-in-law actively told me that we were completely wrong and that it was kind of crazy that we would even believe that you shouldn't enjoy going to a dealership. Yeah, I mean, but he goes like to dealerships on a weekend just for fun. Like he'll just go to the local dealership and see what new cars they've got there and walk around.
Doing a test drive is like a cheap date, like, hello, sir. We would like to buy your finest automobile. Here's our driver's license. We're just going to drive it.
Jimmy's in a top hat and white gloves.
You open the side door for the girl and
Yes.
where to?
Yes. We have 15 minutes before they call the police.
But it's a trial. But you should enjoy it, and that's what I think pissed me off the most was like, this should be you want me to feel comfortable leaving the dealership. Instead, you sent me home with a car that I wouldn't have felt good about, or like I just don't like that, and especially that other dealership that when I had called in, they bad news bears on that one. Didn't like it.
So I don't think their goal is actually for you to walk away happy from the dealership. I think their goal is for you to walk away with a car at the dealership.
Yeah, I think so. You know what you should do, Brant? We were having this. For those of you who can't see, he cannot figure out how to use his microphone.
Something is
So what you need to do, okay, is you gotta get your hand in a comfortable position because
sweaty.
your hand is not in a comfortable position and
Try
it's
holding it vertically.
rotating.
Can I just hold your microphone?
Try holding it vertically.
Sure. You get the nice microphone, I guess.
All
right.
no.
I
Here.
spend all this money on a nice microphone, and we have to give it to Brant.
Old people.
He can't negotiate himself out of $400.
But I did for a good microphone. Look at that.
Exactly. You just got
Gotcha.
brother. You played the long game.
Oh,
He was like,
Brant's
I'm
ever
just
done.
gonna.
Jokes on you. I could hold that
I
microphone
gotta
all
turn
day
this thing
long.
up now.
My dad was in the radiator industry. I know how to hold a microphone.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
and you know how to negotiate. But both of those have been just proven completely.
There was one other part to the story I just wanted to top it off with. So I was driving. The insurance had given me a Chevy Spark, a tiny, terrible little golf cart of a car.
Electronic, right?
No. I don't understand why it was called Spark.
I was about to say.
Okay.
I asked that when I picked it up at Enterprise, and the guy was just laughing. He's like, nope, not at all.
Oh, okay.
So, but it had good mileage, fuel mileage, because it was just such a tiny car. But I hate it. I had it for almost 3 months this summer, and I was so ready to like set it on fire and just jump out and let it run right back into Enterprise and drop it off.
Wow.
And we went on a work trip the last day. So I bought my car on a Saturday. I was going to go back on Tuesday and pay for it. So I had it locked in. And I went on a work trip on a Monday. I lost my keys on the work trip. We flew to Georgia and back, and I lost the key for the rental car. And I had to stay overnight in the town. I couldn't get into the car. I had a whole overnight bag of stuff in there. Couldn't get any of it.
You had to buy the hotel toothpaste.
Yeah, no,
Or did you not brush your teeth?
no. They have free toothpaste at the hotel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It took you a long time to come up with that explanation.
no.
What will they believe?
No.
I'll walk out of this room right now if
Walk out of this room. I'll take and now I'm thinking like, yeah, you're gonna save the rest of the episode if you do that.
But no, I had to. So I did put. I'm just debating whether I say this or not. I did one of the work trips we took. My boss had taken. The plane had to get grounded overnight due to weather, and so everyone on that trip got stranded in Fort Lauderdale. And so I didn't want to have that happen. Completely unprepared. And so this is my first trip since that one. So I put a fresh pair of drawers in my computer bag,
Yeah.
and so I had that. So I didn't have toothpaste.
So you had the computer underwear
you had your
yeah.
the computer underwear,
for your bits and bytes.
I was looking for you got it.
Oh.
You found the
Set it up and hit it.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, anyway, so the next morning they had to break into the car. I got my bag. I was an hour away from the where I live, the dealership, all that stuff. So they didn't have a spare key. They couldn't get it. They towed the car away. And I said, that's about as close as I could get to letting that thing on fire and sending it back. And then nobody wanted to drive me back to my house. No one from my office. So one of our sister companies sent a small trainer plane to pick me up.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it was tiny. My arm was on the door. My other arm was on the pilot, and his other arm was on the door. It's that small.
Yeah, and you didn't invent a cure for cancer or anything, right?
What?
Because otherwise, I wouldn't get on a plane that size.
Oh, yeah. I was just ready to go home. And I carry all my crap into the office before the plane came. And I had, my overnight bag, my laptop bag, a gift bag from the city we were at, my ice scraper, my little sun visor. And my coworker's like, why do you have an ice scraper? I said, it was in my car. He's like, yeah, but you got that car in May. Why did you take the ice scraper out and put it in?
Cannot be too prepared.
That's true.
Illinois.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I flew home in the trainer, and the pilot was like, "It's a trainer. I'm an instructor. Do you want me to teach me how to learn how to fly?" So I flew the plane. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah, flew it while we were just after takeoff. While we were still going up, and then while we were going straight before we landed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were there and you looked over at the guy and you were like, "Do you want to see God?"
I was like, there's so many instruments. He's like, just watch this one, this one, and this one. I was like, I can't do that. I can't even keep a microphone straight. How can I do that? And he said, he's like, just no, forget the instruments. Pick a bug on the windscreen and just try to keep it level with the horizon. And
That's the exact opposite of how you're supposed to fly.
yeah. No, he's like, it's easy. It'll be first, it'll come to you. And so we're flying, and the bug just starts dropping and dropping and dropping. I'm like, did you say pull in or pull out? Which one? Which one to make the plane go up or down? And I think I asked him about every 3 minutes, because every time I tried something, the plane wasn't going up. We just kept going down. And I thought we were going to get into a stall or something.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't let that happen.
No.
Well, it's not like he was actively placed there so that he might make it look like an accident.
Yeah.
And,
It's funny that he was my coworker who dropped me off. She hates flying, and she saw the plane land, and she's like, "You're not getting in that." I said, "I'm going home." She's like, "You're not getting in that." She sees the pilot. She's like, "He looks like he's like a kid." I'm like, "He might be." He was 22, so
Kid.
What if you got to what if you start going down and you're like, "How do I get up? How do you get up?" And he looks over, takes off a fake wig, full head of hair, and said, "You only had enough umbrellas for 2 beauty queens." I was the third, you bastard.
opens the door, jumps out,
Yeah.
pulls her parachute,
Exactly.
off she goes.
you just got to keep that bug level with the windscreen.
Yeah. And I was just a little uglier than the other two, huh? Yeah.
Not good enough.
I got a few. She's like, "I got a few drops on me." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
So that was my whole experience. That wrapped it all up. But
Wow. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
what a time.
the lore is complete.
Yeah.
Yeah, for everybody who's writing the Wikipedia page.
Everyone's wondering, I got a
the
new
Brant,
car,
The
Yeah.
Brant lore Wikipedia page.
Brant lore.
goodness.
and I've got notes on how to negotiate. So if you
Yeah.
want to,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that book will be a bestseller. I bet, Brett.
also,
It's like at the start, it's like the back cover where it's like Brant Cohen is a 26 or how old are you? 28, 27-year-old man with 6 months of interviewing 6 months of
Yes.
negotiation experience,
no,
and he's leveling all that experience in this book.
it comes along with the insurance process from a car accident too. So
Yeah.
that's the extended edition.
Mm.
But also know that if you get a more expensive car, your insurance goes up.
I mean, that's
Wow.
Go figure.
So, Jimmy, what have you been up to?
We'll pass the ball up.
Yeah, it's Jim's turn.
Yeah, I haven't bought a car in quite a while.
How's the real estate game going for you?
I'm kind of backing off of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one house in Detroit that I bought off the land bank, I gave back to the city. It's just too far gone. Needs to be demolished.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
But you tried.
I did try. Did you ever see the house?
Pictures.
Oh, just pictures. Okay, so
That's good enough.
yeah, a few people saw the house. But no, other than that, things are good. It's been a busy summer for me. I went to World Youth Day, the Catholic
Yes,
thing
yes,
with
you went to
Sammy
Lisbon.
Roberts, and yeah, Lisbon's a wonderful city.
Yeah.
The Portuguese government is incompetent beyond your wildest dreams.
In like a normal Mediterranean way?
Yeah,
or-
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. But I had never been to the Mediterranean before, and we traveled with a group of Italians.
Yeah.
And it was organized by the Catholic Church. So it's like the old joke, oh, heaven is where the police are German and the
Yeah.
or they, what they
Yeah,
go
yeah.
through the nationalities. Like all those tropes are true.
Yeah.
Like they're all wonderful people individually. But as a group, like
But as a collective,
when you form a government out of them or the governing body of the world's largest church,
Yeah.
like then that's when it really begins to fall apart. So just logistical things like that were very difficult with that. But the Portuguese people, the Italians, the Spaniards, all wonderful people. They're very
Yeah.
hospitable, very kind, very thoughtful.
Do you have any national Portuguese dishes, anything like that?
I did. So we were in Santiago de Compostela, which is Spain, of course. And I had something there. I don't remember what it was called. It was like cod with a tomato sauce on fried potatoes, which is very good. And then, Portugal's a maritime country, maritime nation, seafaring people, sort of.
How many other ways you got that?
Yeah, throwing them out. But they do have a dish where it's like fried cod. They love
Yep.
cod. On shoot, I don't even remember exactly what it was.
Rice.
It was not rice.
Oh.
No, I think it was some variant of potatoes.
Okay.
But I had that
Parsnips.
in Fatima, Portugal,
Nice.
which is very good. It was a wonderful experience.
Real questions. How was the plane food?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Dude.
Delta from Detroit to Amsterdam Schiphol was one of the best meals I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
And I cook for myself, so it's a pretty low bar.
See how much more excited he is about the plane food than the food
I
on the
love
ground
it.
in
Ask
Portugal?
Sammy or Father Satish, who we traveled with, or
Yeah.
Hannah, who was the girl's name. They'll all tell you I was in seventh heaven. I got a Miller Lite and the plain food, and I was just leaning back. It's like that Key and Peele skit.
Yeah.
I love
continental
being
breakfast.
incontinent.
Yeah.
It was great.
What was the comprised of this meal?
Yeah, what was the
it was
entree?
chicken.
He just with the red a tomato sauce. I think it was on
hot
potatoes.
Tomato sauce on potatoes.
He remembers the Miller Lite, and that's all he
It was-
needs.
Yeah, and
that really
they
made
gave
it
us
big.
ice cream as well, which was nice. I mean,
Like one of those like fake little ice creams?
it was real ice cream, but in
Yes.
a cup with like a wooden spoon.
Yeah.
I don't like the wooden spoons. They're
They're not
taste like
smooth.
wood.
It's hard, and it's hard to pull them off your tongue.
and you taste the wood more than you taste the ice
Yes,
cream.
Yeah.
But
Really.
regardless, all in all, it was a very good trip.
I'm actually. Can we nail this down?
Yeah.
What did you eat on that plane?
It was some chicken with I don't remember what was in it. Spinach.
It was your favorite meal. How do you not remember what
It
was
was
on
a very long flight, and I'm not a very good flyer.
There was a lot of Miller Lights happening.
And then on the way back, we also had, I think it was chicken as well, but I don't remember what it was. I really, honest to goodness, can't remember what the meal was.
But Shad, but does he need to? What he
Yeah, I
what he
guess.
does remember is the impact it had on his life.
Yeah, the experience.
And the Dutch are wonderful people.
How long were you in Amsterdam?
About 4 hours.
Okay.
So not that long, but our flight attendants
But enough to
were
know.
great. Yeah, enough to know. And they were all very hospitable. I was telling Tom Rice-Camp last night, it's a shame the Dutch don't believe in God anymore.
Yeah.
But they're wonderful, hospitable, generous people and are very good at organizing things.
Yeah.
Unlike
Unlike
some other people in the southern part of that continent. But then again, I did notice, and Sammy noticed this as well, the religious sensibilities of the Spaniards, the Italians, the Portuguese. It seems like Christianity, we'll say. I mean, Christianity as it manifests itself in the Mediterranean is either Catholicism or Orthodoxy. But it seems like it's still a stronger sense of we actually still believe in these things. And so I think perhaps poverty preserves, as they say, in their, poverty, as we would say here in America. They are materially poorer countries. But I think in that way, especially in the rural areas of Spain and Portugal, people still are quite fervent, which was very encouraging for me to see. It was cool. It was actually really cool.
Cool.
And I really appreciated that.
Cool. Well, what's your impression of the Mediterranean peoples, Brant?
You mean the guy at the car dealership? Let's just say I didn't buy a car from him.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
What are we at time-wise?
We got another 10. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool.
But might as well then throw it over to thank our patrons.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Y'all, thank you so much to our patrons, especially our top patrons, our top contributors, which is Luke Robson, Sammy Roberts, Joe Papalardo, and Zach and Amber Strehle. Thank you so much. We could not do this without you. If you're interested, we record a post show every episode. It's only $5 a month. Only $5 to watch over 60 hours of content. That's insanity and crazy. That being said, if you're interested in looking into it, Patreon /Monomaniacs pod. And if you don't have any money, if you live in a shoebox, as I know some of our listeners do, it's not funny, Brant. It's not a joke.
I'm just breathing.
They're small mice who live in a shoebox.
There's a little bit of Lucy on you. You're sneezing.
There's small mice that live in tribes that fight one another in this shoebox. And they listen to this podcast. I don't know what the deal is, but yeah.
Actually, you're a minor deity in their religion.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
a minor deity.
Minor.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
A trickster god.
Just don't let them know my negotiating skills.
Yeah. We wouldn't want to break their poor little hearts.
Oh no,
those tiny little
no,
hearts.
do that.
Anyway, if you don't want to financially contribute, that's okay. Support us by just liking and subscribing on the YouTubes. That's always super helpful. Any dang way. Thank you very much.
I give $1 a month, and I don't even know that. I forgot about it. So it's that easy. It's that easy.
That easy.
$12 a year. I'm just so generous.
Yes, exactly. We even denied him a bottle of water when he came in. We said no.
Right. Bring your own.
Yeah. The funny thing is that the hour and a half that you are going to spend on this is just monetarily worth more.
That's fine by me.
Yeah, I mean, if we were paying you a living wage,
Well, I guess this is my way of paying you a living.
Also, I want to clear the air. I listened to episodes without being prompted, by the way, on being tagged online.
Yeah.
But then I do happen to I do appreciate the being tagged in them. But I just want to let you know, I do listen, and I listen often. Sometimes I'm behind, but I catch up.
No. We do.
Just clearing the air.
What we always say is
oh, jeez.
If we ever need Brant to listen
There
to
you
the podcast, is we need to either invoke his name during the podcast, or we need to invite him to come on the podcast because he'll be obligated to catch up to get to where we're at. So if we need that extra Brant boost. That's how we.
Have you guys watched the Dr. Connor episode yet?
I
did.
finished that after Mass today.
How nice.
The day it came out, I was on it.
What'd you think?
I liked it. I wish there would have been more exposition on what it means to be a Gerald Ford Republican, but I realized there's probably really not that much to unpack.
That's sort of the impression I got. You would ask him, and he'd just be like, decency. It's like, all right.
Which is true. I don't deny that. I'm sure he's a fine, upstanding man.
I tried to, sort of shake it directly into why? But what exactly about Gerald Ford? Yeah, but no, I think it definitely was very interesting. A lot of good perspectives, and as I said, surprisingly candid. Like it was very, very straight shooter on that.
Well, and I loved hearing his voice in the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was made for
now,
this.
Talk about somebody who probably struggled with a microphone. How did he do this?
No, we gave him a stand.
Okay, I was
gonna say I don't remember him struggling.
You've been talking into the wire. What the hell are you doing?
The nose, it would have just gone like this and then go out of the way back and then just constantly rotating.
Giving you nausea listening to it.
Somehow it's going into the left ear and then right, back and forth. Oh goodness. It's good. No. But yeah, we really appreciate any support, honestly, and it's been kind of, I guess, humbling in a lot of respects that there's still a really tangible group of people that really enjoy listening to it, and we get new people that come through and everything like that, and it's just been fun that we were able to do this. Period.
I don't want to interrupt, but this is part of the way I just keep in touch with people. And know what's going on in people's lives, honestly.
When they're on Monomaniacs.
That's what I appreciate for this, when you get updates from
There's
people.
a funny parasocial aspect of it too, where classically Danny Wrongley, when he graduated and moved off to a different job, he didn't have any friends around, but he was like, "But I listen to you guys' show. I feel like I'm hanging out with my friends."
Oh, I said the same. When I moved, every week I was on top of it, and I remember unpacking my closet and just listening to your episode on my phone and moving the phone from room to room as I was like unpacking everything. And I remember talking to myself when you guys were talking about mayonnaise with your mom once about condiments. I was like, I've got a comment.
You got to. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
right,
what's your
yeah,
comment?
No.
Speak your mind.
I love
Speak your
mayonnaise. It is the best. It is the best condiment. I like mayo, and I like that mayo can also be an aioli.
That's true. You just throw some garlic on it and charge an extra $25.
Exactly. And I think it's also when you order mayonnaise at a restaurant, it's a good way to judge the quality of the restaurant, because some you could tell will give you Miracle Whip, some will make their own, and everywhere in between. So you get to see how much are they committed to the mayo. Ketchup,
yeah. It's just
ketchup. Ketchup is too sweet for
I like
me.
mixing them all together.
Yeah,
Make
dude.
it some Thousand Island.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thousand Island's good.
Yeah.
But I think generally sauces and condiments are a big part of what makes a good restaurant in general.
You
And
know,
also a big part of what makes this country great.
God bless America.
I recently there was this a Facebook group that went semi-viral on Twitter of guys hoagie appreciation, where they post the hoagies they've been eating, and I didn't know this, but according to the real hoagie purists, the only condiment you should have on a hoagie is oil and vinegar, maybe some salt and pepper.
When I go to Jersey Mike's, I do oil and vinegar, salt and pepper, oregano.
But no mayo,
No mustard.
no
I
mustard,
don't do mustard.
because apparently that masks the flavor of the ingredients too much, and so
You could do a little bit of mayo. It doesn't.
not according to these guys. There's like
show me their page.
they'll
let me in.
they'll be
Cowards. I'll negotiate the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Is a hoagie the same as a Dagwood?
No.
No, Dagwood is
a type of sandwich. A hoagie is a category of sandwich.
What is a hoagie?
I thought Dagwood was just named after the Dagwood comic strip.
Well, I thought the same, but I thought they were all just kind of sandwiches.
A Dagwood is like it's like a turkey club or something like that.
I don't think the sandwich culture in Southeast Michigan is really that strong.
Yeah.
It's mostly just cold cuts, and I don't think it's not like New Jersey or
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, well, I
wherever
mean,
else they have.
you don't have like good Italian, Italian butchers or
nor
that sort of thing.
Jewish delis to make a good.
Yeah,
Reuben.
yeah. Juice kind of cut a rug years ago.
I don't like the Reubens. You got so many diners around here. They make Reubens with seeded white bread instead of the rye.
Yeah.
I can't stand that.
Well, so the big thing is the sesame seed roll for the real hoagie heads.
Oh,
HHs.
I thought you were talking about a Reuben. I'm like, what are you talking
No,
about?
not the
What
Reubens.
are you talking about?
No, for the
hoagie
for the
heads,
real
the
hoagie
sesame
heads.
Are you a hoagie head, Shad?
No. I mean, I could really use a hoagie right now.
Are we gonna out him on that right now?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, I love sandwiches. I really do. I think the sandwich is the perfect food delivery system.
Mhm.
Now it can be a little heavy on the carbs sometimes, so it's like it can be a little filling.
You know, there's a bakery to Chicago that makes these unseeded white rye bread with they're cut thin, so it's just the right amount. They're like one slice, 2 slices equal to one.
Yeah.
So it's cut in half, but it's like that thin. It's just to me, it's just the right amount of bread. You don't feel like you're eating a whole loaf of bread and then trying to get your food in it. So it's perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun plug.
Fun plug.
Yeah.
Who are they even? Do you know their name?
Rosens.
Oh,
Okay.
I really was hoping you didn't.
Yeah.
It would have been
I
funnier.
buy it every
It would be
week.
funnier if you had it.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh man.
Well, we got to move on over to the Patreon. So
if you want to hear us confront Brant about certain things
No.
that are occurring in the town of Hillsdale, then
Oh boy.
the Patreon is where that will be occurring. So
Check it out.
peace.
Yeah.